The fixer is an employee everyone turns to when something goes wrong, gets stuck, or just needs to get done quickly. They're usually the person people trust to step in, figure it out, keep things moving before the whole thing turns into an email chain that somehow keeps getting worse. The fixer is reliable, capable, quick to help, and usually good at solving problems. The issue is that they can end up taking on more than they should, especially when roles are blurry and everybody gets very comfortable with their competence. A lot works about being the fixer. They're proactive, they're dependable, they're often the reason things actually move instead of sitting there getting discussed for 3 business days. Every team needs people like that. They help others get unstuck, they solve problems quickly, and they often create stability when things start to wobble. When something needs to get handled, they're usually the person everybody quietly hopes will step in. What gets tricky is that helpful people can quietly become the place everybody drops things. At first, it's just, hey, one quick question, or a small favor, or can you just take a look at this? Then before long, half their morning is gone and they're fixing something that was never really theirs to fix in the first place. The fixer does not always help themselves here because it's hard for them to sit there and watch something move slowly when they already know how to get it done. They often step in because the mess is obvious, the solution feels easy, and watching it drag out is literally spiritually irritating. Then the day gets away from them, their own work is still waiting, and somehow they're in the middle of a spreadsheet they never asked to be a part of. Another thing that gets tricky are really the boundaries. Boundaries do not just feel hard for a fixer, they can feel weird. Once they try to stop stepping in, they'll often start wondering whether they should still be involved, whether it's really theirs, or whether they've gotten used to just being in the middle of everything. And if the lanes on the team are unclear, that gets even worse because now they're not just sorting out their own boundary, they're also realizing nobody was all that clear about ownership to begin with. Okay. So the best way to support a fixer is not to bring them every problem first. Try to work through what can be worked through well before you're pulling them in. When you do pull them in, be clear about what is actually needed. Sometimes they're being asked for advice, sometimes a second set of eyes, sometimes people are trying to just hand them the whole mess and then run away and disappear. Those are not the same thing, and helpful should not automatically mean available. And if you are a manager managing a fixer, you need to watch for overuse. Fixers are easy to love because they move fast, solve things, and make life easier. That is exactly why they're easy to overload. If they're becoming the go-to person for everything, that may not just mean that they're strong. It may also mean the team has gotten very comfortable bringing them unfinished problems. They need clear ownership, protected time, and a manager who notices when helpful is quietly turning into holding together half the team. So being a fixer can be a real strength because they're reliable, they're useful, and often the reason things get done. They just need to make sure being helpful does not slowly turn into carrying things that were never really theirs in the first place. So tell me, are you the fixer? Or do you work with one? Or do you manage one? If this is your kind of content, subscribe. This is exactly what we do here: workplace types, team dynamics, and real world work habits. Thank you.